Secretary of State John Kerry himself lost faith in the administration's Syria policy. He met privately with U.S. lawmakers this weekend during a security conference in Munich, Germany. Reports out of that meeting are stunning. Joining us now is Josh Rogin, the senior correspondent for the Daily Beast. Josh, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You got a piece at the headline, quote, Senators, Kerry admits Obama's Syria policy is failing. What's going on here?
Well, according to John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who were in Munich and met with John Kerry on Sunday, Kerry expressed deep frustration with the administration's Syria policy. He said that the Russians were not being helpful. He said that the Syrian government was slow-rolling the chemical weapons issue. He said that we need a new approach, which includes arming the rebels. And he said that basically all of his faith in the administration's current policies to date was failing, and that he advocating for more internal measures, which are opposed by the White House.
Now, the White House press secretary, Jay Carty, he's pushing back on your report. I'm going to play a little clip of what he said today.
I think the stories you're referring to actually appear to be a reflection of what Senators McCain and Graham think of our Syria policy, not what Secretary Kerry thinks.
Go ahead.
Right, so he's not denying any of the specific allegations. The State Department has said that John Kerry didn't raise the arming issue, but they haven't said that he didn't say any of the other things. Sure, there's a difference in tone between what John Kerry is saying and what McCain and Graham are saying, but the level of frustration is deep, and it's been well reported over many months that John Kerry has been arguing for a more aggressive Syria policy internally, along with other members of the administration, but they've been stifled by the White House, which is opposed to any further U.S. involvement in the conflict.
So you see a split developing between John Kerry on the one hand and the White House on the other hand?
I think this split has been apparent for years. If you'll remember, 2 years ago, Hillary Clinton and Dave Petraeus advocated for arming the rebels and were opposed by the White House. Now the split seems to be John Kerry and CIA Director John Brennan on one hand, and the White House led by Dennis McDonough and Susan Rice and Ben Rhodes on the other hand.
The whole point, though, from the U.S. perspective, is that al-Qaeda has developed an enormous base in Syria right now. A lot of foreign fighters have come in, and now they're beginning to go back to various countries, whether in Europe, Africa, or the United States. So here's the question. How serious of a threat to the United States homeland is there from the al-Qaeda operation in Syria?
Well, the senators were particularly shocked by testimony last week by Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, who said that the intelligence community's assessment is that al-Nusra Front, a branch of al-Qaeda, has the intent to attack the homeland. They saw that as an acknowledgement of their fears all along, that if we stayed out of Syria long enough, that al-Qaeda would place a foothold and eventually their ambitions would be to attack the United States. They said that John Kerry confirmed those fears and Clapper's assessment in the private meeting.
You know, the president is going to go to Saudi Arabia next month to meet with King Abdullah. The Saudis don't like the U.S. policy. They don't like it in Syria. They don't like it towards Iran. They don't like the U.S. strategy in Egypt. There's a real problem there between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia.
Right, and you showed the clip of Lakhdar Brahimi saying the talks had failed. At that same conference, which I attended, in which Kerry and McCain and Graham were at, a Saudi prince said that they were frustrated with Obama for not fulfilling his promise to strike Syria when he said he would, and for not consulting them on a range of issues related to the Syria crisis. The Saudis have been arming the Syrians. The U.S. has little or no control over that arming, and this will be at the top of the agenda when President Obama meets the king.
It certainly will be. All right, Josh, thanks very much for coming in. Josh Rogin for the Daily Beast.